I was the only guy in a house full of women who labeled everything as girls only. So I stopped paying their bills, and suddenly they didn't even seem like family. Now, they're asking for help again. Hey Reddit, ever felt like your own family treats you like nothing more than a wallet? Same here. I was the lone man in a house full of women. Everything was girls only, unless the bills were due. I was excluded from dinners, trips, and birthdays. But the moment rent was late or something broke, I was the first call. I stayed quiet, kept helping, kept showing up, until they went too far. That's when I pulled the plug, and their whole world fell apart. Here's how it happened. My story. I'm Nathan, 28, male. My family, the part that still speaks to me, is all women. My mom, my older sisters Amanda 31 and Taylor 33, plus 3 aunts. My dad left after a bad divorce when I was a kid, and no one's heard from his side since. So I grew up, the only guy in a house of women, and any time I disagreed, I'd get the classic "you're just like your father" jab. My mom could flip in a second. Sweet one moment, cold the next, if you didn't agree. A few years back, she and her sisters started girls-only weekends. It began with a movie, The Avengers or something, and from then on, it became outings every couple of weeks. At first, I didn't care. I live alone. I work full-time. I've got my own hobbies. If they wanted brunch and gossip, fine. But soon it turned into the zoo, dinners, spa days, bowling, even a baseball game. None of those are girly activities. But still, I was never invited. Every time they shared photos in the group chat, I just dropped a thumbs up and moved on. Tried to act like it didn't bother me. But here's the thing. I'm not a distant cousin. I'm their son, their brother, and I've been the one helping them the most. I gave my mom money monthly to cover bills, paid my aunt's car payment once, covered my sister's rent for 3 months after she lost her job. I never complained. I just believed family helps family. Yet when I did something for them, it barely got acknowledged. I bought my mom a new fridge after hers broke, and she just said, "That's nice," like I was a neighbor doing a favor. Meanwhile, if one of my sisters baked a lasagna, the group chat lit up with, "Proud of you, babe." Honestly, wouldn't you feel bitter? I was supporting everyone, but still treated like an outsider, good enough to pay, but not good enough to include. No invites. The girls-only thing wasn't harmless anymore. It became a way of saying you don't belong here. They'd even plan events right in front of me at my mom's house, never once offering even a courtesy invite. I joked once, "Guess I'll need to grow my hair out to be part of the club." Silence. My aunt forced a laugh. My mom didn't even look up. Whenever I mentioned being left out, they said I was making it about me, the same thing they used to say to my dad before he left. For a long time, I told myself maybe it wasn't intentional. Maybe they didn't realize how it felt. But after 2 years of the same behavior, I stopped making excuses. It wasn't about being left out. It was about how entitled and dismissive they were. They treated me like background support, while treating each other like queens. That seps when I started realizing I had limits. I have a limit. The breaking point came in January. My Aunt Lisa's birthday rolled around, and usually I'd get a group text about dinner plans. This time, silence. When I asked, my mom casually replied, "We already celebrated last weekend. Lisa's going out of town. No invite. No heads up." What made it sting wasn't the dinner, it was the pattern. They went to the same steakhouse I introduced them to years ago, but called it girls only. And I had already bought my aunt a thoughtful gift, a specialty tea set she once mentioned. I wrapped it nicely, dropped it off, and all I got was a short thanks text a day later. That's when it hit me. I wasn't family to them. I was an afterthought. So, I stopped putting in extra effort. No more volunteering my time and money. When my aunt asked for help with her screen door, I said I was busy. When my mom needed insurance help, I told her to call the company. When my sister asked for another loan, I said no. You'd think I committed a crime, My mom even texted, "Some people change when they get money." I didn't reply. That's when I realized they don't just expect my help. They feel entitled to it. The beach trip. By March, talk of the annual beach trip started. Normally, I cover the rental deposit, sometimes more. This year, nothing in the group chat. But I saw hints on Instagram, shopping bags, beach countdowns, my aunt casually asking about my cooler. Then I spotted the truth. They were planning the same trip without me. And here's the kicker. Back in December, I joked, "Guess I'll cover the beach house again." They laughed, said I was the best. Apparently that was enough for them to move forward as if I had already agreed. They even booked the place under my name, assuming I'd pay. I found out when my aunt commented on my sister's post. "So excited for our beach week. Thanks again for reserving it under Nathan." That's when I realized they weren't just excluding me, they were using me. So I logged into the booking portal, canceled the reservation, and removed my card. No warning. Within 24 hours, the texts started rolling in. First came the texts, "Something seems wrong with the payment." Then the passive-aggressive ones, "My favorite refade, he's did handle it." And my favorite, "We already told the kids we were going. This isn't sept fair." Fair, they booked a trip behind my back, using my card, and excluded me just for being the wrong gender. And I'm the unfair one? I didn't respond, not because I was sulking, but because silence says enough. They wanted to act like I didn't exist. Fine, I returned the favor. To make it clear, I booked a mountain cabin for the same week. Took a couple friends. No big announcement, no revenge post. Just one photo of us grilling by the fire pit, enjoying an actual vacation where no one expected me to pay their way. Apparently that photo alone sent them into meltdown. I didn't see the group chat live. I keep it muted. But a cousin sent me screenshots later. Pure panic. No house, no backup plan, no sponsor to bail them out. Turns out, when you burn bridges with the one who books and pays for everything, there's no vacation ferry to step in. I stayed calm. No told you so, no digs. Just quiet. Meanwhile, they scrambled like contestants on a budget reality show, trying to throw together a trip with vibes and borrowed towels. And the wildest part? None of them apologized. Instead, they tried twisting it. Suddenly, I was the one who flaked, as if using my name and card without permission was normal. Their entitlement was Olympic level. They didn't respect me, but still expected me to fund their fun. Well, they wanted a girls' trip. They got one, just without the deluxe version that required me. The cutoff. After that vacation disaster, I didn't make speeches or write long texts. I didn't storm out. I simply stopped engaging. No dramatic exit, just unplugged quietly, like cutting power to an abandoned building. And for a short while, I thought they understood. The group chat went silent. No "can you help with requests?" No fake invites. But the silence didn't feel like peace. It felt like they were plotting their next move. Sure enough, Monday morning my sister texted, "Hey, can you help carry my new couch upstairs? Delivery guys won't do stairs." No hello, no check-in, just straight back to demands. I ignored it, kept eating my breakfast burrito. Tuesday, Aunt Lisa tried her version. "Hey sweetie," followed by a request to dispute a credit card charge because the website was confusing. I replied, "The number on the back still works." That ended that. Wednesday, my mom called, and she never calls unless it's serious, or unless she wants something big. The fake emergency. I answered. She immediately said, "Your sister Sip's car was totaled this morning. She Sip's in the hospital. It's Sip's bad. They Sip's her saying she needs surgery. Her legs are really messed up. We Sip's trying to get the money together." No hello, no details, just panic mode. But something felt off. She didn't say which sister, or which hospital, so I asked, "Where is she?" She quickly replied, "St. Thomas. They won't let anyone in, because of scans. Still no name. I said I stet call the hospital myself. She immediately backpedaled, no, don't stet. She stets in and out, they won't stet confirm anything yet. I hung up. Then I opened Instagram. My younger sister had just posted a cappuccino picture with the caption, "Baristas will never get my name right." Smiling in full makeup, cozy sweater, looking nothing like someone recovering from surgery. That's when it hit me. My own mother faked a car crash and a surgery just to get money out of me, and she didn't even try to sell it. No tears, no build-up, just a quick mechanical lie. That's how normal the manipulation had become. I didn't argue, didn't text, just let it sit. The next day, my mom posted in the group chat, "Thanks to everyone who came together yesterday, reminded why family matters." Translation: didn't get what I wanted, but I settle pretend I did. Aunt Lisa chimed in, "Some of us just do more, and that set's okay." I closed the app. I wasn't shocked anymore. I was done. The consequences? This wasn't miscommunication. It was deliberate emotional fraud, and it showed me just how far they'd go to keep me as their safety net. So I started saving everything. Screenshots of money requests, guilt trips, last-minute emergencies, all filed in a folder called For Memory, not to use against them, but to remind myself how far it had gone. Then came the real unraveling. A week later, my mom texted, "Can you help with rent this month? Everyone's doing their best." I replied, "Everyone's best looks a lot like my worst." Sent it. Muted the thread, then blocked her number for the weekend, just to enjoy 48 quiet hours. When you cut people off, it's not the silence they notice first. It's the consequences. And the consequences came fast. The aftermath. First, my older sister Amanda. I had co-signed her car loan 2 years ago because she couldn't qualify. I quietly removed my name after the vacation stunt. She ignored the warning. Well, she'd been 3 payments behind. The dealership repossessed the car right outside her work. A coworker filmed it. She called my mom crying, who texted me, "How could you do this to her?" I didn't do anything. I just stopped covering for her. That same weekend, I got a call from the electric company. My name was still on my mom's account. She hadn't paid 2 bills. Balance nearly $600. I cleared it once, then immediately had my name removed. Power got cut 2 days later. My mom texted, "Wow, you really don't care anymore, huh?" She was right. I didn't. Then my younger sister Taylor, she couldn't keep up with rent without family help, meaning me. Within a week, her roommate posted a rant online about people who can't handle adult responsibilities. 3 days later, Taylor was back at my mom's house, blaming her landlord. By week 3, Aunt Lisa was selling furniture online, with captions like "Family hardship due to betrayal." Please help, betrayal, because I stopped being their ATM. It got darker. Someone, still not sure who, tried to open a credit card in my name. I got a fraud alert, shut it down, tightened all security, didn't confront them. If they wanted to go that low, that was on them. Soon after, my mom's SIPS account was frozen for overdraft. She called my aunt, crying about having to cancel dental work, framing it as moral guilt. Not all of us can ignore family. By then, word spread. A cousin told me they were trying to guilt-trip Uncle Jay into covering for me. Jay's not blood, just my dad's old friend who stuck around. He called me directly, laughing, saying, "They've really painted you as the villain." I told him I didn't care, because once I stopped funding their lives, the entire show collapsed. They were mad. They weren't mad that I changed. They were mad they had to. Taylor eventually called, first time in months. I let it go to voicemail. She texted, "Can we at least talk about why you're like this?" Knew used to help, and she was right. I used to, back when there was at least a little respect. Then came a real hospital call. Aunt Lisa broke her wrist at work. She texted, I know you don't want to hear from us, but this is different. Different? When I broke mine years ago, I paid out of pocket, and all they sent was a meme. I left her message unread. After that, the group chat turned into a pity party. My mom wrote, "We don't need anyone sets help. Some people just want to see others fail when they stop being useful." And Lisa replied, "That's what happens when someone thinks money equals morals." They were rewriting history, acting like victims of some cruel tyrant who cut off their free ride. And then came the final straw. Someone, probably Amanda, emailed my job's general inbox claiming I abandoned my sick mother, and it was affecting my work. HR forwarded it to me, asking if I was okay. I laughed, explained it was family drama, and they dropped it. That was the day I changed my number. No speech, no goodbye, just done. Same job, same apartment, same city, but with no more strings pulling me back. To them, I don't exist anymore. And for once, that felt like peace. The only person I kept in touch with, Uncle Jay. Uncle Jay would call sometimes with updates, almost like giving me the sports recap of a team I no longer supported. Amanda was struggling with her commute. Taylor was emptying my mom's pantry like it was a challenge, and Lisa had pawned so much furniture the living room looked bare. He asked how I was doing. I told him better than ever, but deep down, I knew the silence wouldn't last. Walking away from a system built on manipulation isn't something they'd allow quietly. Parasites don't release their host without a fight. It was a Saturday morning. I had the windows open, coffee on the counter, and some jazz playing low through the speaker. Peaceful, almost unreal. Considering the year I'd had, the air felt fresh, the kind of calm that doesn't come often. Then came the knock. Not polite, not casual. It was fists on wood, loud and sharp. I opened the door. My mother stood there. Not the version who baked cookies or gave too many hugs. This was someone else, hair messy, eyes locked on me with anger, like I had personally betrayed her. Her mouth moved before I could say a word. "You really think this is how you treat family? You think you can throw us out and act like we don't exist? No greeting, no can we talk, just accusation, as if I'd burned the house down and walked away." I didn't answer immediately. I just looked at her, really looked. She wasn't tired from age or work. She was worn down from weeks of lying, blaming, and realizing none of it worked anymore. Finally, I said, "You chose this. Calm, steady." That alone set her off. "You're just like your father." She hissed it like the ultimate insult. Cold, selfish, ungrateful. She said he walked out on the family, and now I was doing the same. I stayed in the doorway, arms crossed. "Dad left because you treated him poorly. I just figured it out sooner." Her response was an open-handed slap across my face. Not enough to knock me back, but enough to kill the music inside. I didn't react, just nodded, like a math problem had finally solved itself. "That's all you had left?" I asked. "When guilt stopped working, and lies stopped landing, you went old school." She paced, rambling about Taylor having nowhere to go, Amanda drowning in debt because of me, Lisa being too stressed to function. Then she jabbed her finger toward the street. "You sit here in your little apartment, living your little life while your family is drowning. You mean the family that treated me like a checkbook, and only called when something broke?" I asked. No answer. Instead, she grabbed the potted plant by my door, an ugly ceramic cactus from a coworker, and threw it down the steps. It shattered, soil everywhere. "You think this makes you strong? Cutting everyone off makes you better? You sick at a coward, just like your father." She started throwing things from the patio table, tossing my ashtray, knocking over a chair, even scratching the paint on my railing with her keys. I stepped back and pulled out my phone. Still calm, I dialed. I told the dispatcher my mother was trespassing and damaging my property. Said it flatly, like ordering lunch. She heard me. "You're calling the cops on your own mother?" she shouted. On the same woman who had faked a medical emergency, tried to take money, and was now breaking my things. Yes, that's exactly what I was doing. "You stir disgusting," she spat. "I learned from the best," I replied. I didn't yell, didn't match her rage. I just let it hit her that I wasn't the same kid who gave in to every guilt trip, who covered the bills, who patched their mistakes. I was finished. The dispatcher stayed on the line, asked if she was still there. I said yes. My mom stood shaking, not crying, just furious that someone she always controlled wouldn't bend anymore. When she realized I wasn't bluffing, she backed away, stomped toward her car, and shouted, "Don't come crawling back when no one wants you." "I'd rather be unwanted than used," I answered. She sped off. 15 minutes later, officers arrived. I showed them the broken pot, the crack on the AC panel, the scratches on the railing. All of it was on my doorbell camera too. They asked if I wanted to press charges. I said no, just file a report. I didn't want her arrested. I wanted documentation. The break. The next day, Uncle Jay called. He heard news travels fast when my mom has a meltdown in public. He wasn't surprised. He asked if I was okay. I told him. She finally showed me who she really is. He sighed. Sometimes people aren't angry that you stopped helping. They are angry you stopped believing they needed the help. I hung up and stood in my living room. She was gone, not physically, but the illusion was gone. The hope that she'd change, understand, or even respect boundaries died the moment she smashed a flower pot and scratched my porch rail like a teenager keying a car. That was the final break. No more second chances. No more excuses, because of shared blood. Just me, standing in the ruins of a family that hated me the moment I stopped holding them together. A week later, the silence felt real. No fake emergencies. No guilt-wrapped just checking in texts. No buzzing phone. It was like someone finally muted a sitcom that dragged on too many seasons. After the officers left that day, I didn't spin the story. I told the truth. She slapped me, threw things, and vandalized my porch. They asked if I wanted charges filed. I said no, just document it. That record alone shattered the fantasy she had about me always staying quiet. She wasn't arrested, but she was warned, and she hated that. Uncle Jay told me she's been telling everyone I ruined her life and sided with the law over family. In her mind, blood was supposed to mean immunity from consequences. But her outburst became the breaking point for others too. Lisa cut ties 2 days later, not wanting to be tied to someone unstable. Amanda moved out, though in reality she's couch surfing. Taylor still lives there but barely speaks to her. The house turned into a powder keg with no one left to absorb the tension. I kept my distance, changed my number, blocked everyone except Uncle Jay, who still calls but never asks me to fix anything, just says they are learning what life is like without you. Amanda once tried texting from a burner phone, said I was cruel, said mom's depression worsened. Taylor took out a payday loan. I read it and deleted it. I've saved enough. It's their turn now. The aftermath. The funny part is, when you finally set boundaries, people say you've changed, that you've become bitter, the villain. But I'm still the same person who fixed the fridge, covered birthdays, handled bills, and listened to their problems. The only difference is, I stopped pretending I didn't notice the pattern. Now, I use my money on myself. Nothing flashy. Just replacing worn-out sneakers, fixing my car's AC, ordering takeout without wondering if I'd need to send someone else money that week. I even booked a cabin up north. Solo trip. No group chat, no drama, no favors. Most evenings now I sit outside, phone quiet, no constant demands. The stillness felt strange at first. Then I saw the scratch on my porch rail, the one she left behind. I could fix it, but I don't. It reminds me how close I came to losing my peace again. Mom hasn't reached out since. No apologies, just silence. Probably still twisting the story. Probably still hoping I'll fold eventually. But I won't. I'm not angry. Not even sad. Just done. Some people think silence is defeat. For me, it means I finally won.